I don't know what happened at halftime, and that's the thing. They say that Zidane just sort of took the reins. He was their coach, and the French team that came out in that second half against Spain, I did not expect it.
He has only 2 goals. He has only two goals in his career. He has played like 150 odd matches. He's the most capped player for France ever, and he has scored only 2 goals, and they both came in the semi-final of the World Cup.
How, Fateh, please tell the audience that Panenka,
yes, to do that in a final, that pressure, and against Buffon.
We in association with Sporticos are bringing you something very exciting this World Cup season. First of all, sporticos.com, that is a great website. Do check it out. आप लोग को अभी मिल रहा है एक मौका to win an absolutely free jersey आपके टीम का or any other team that you would want. It can be football or cricket. Along with that, you would get something extra as well, bonus, as well as a potential to win a second jersey और आपके टीम का training jacket. जो procedure है for you to subscribe, that has to be done with the link in the description below. पहला ही line in the description contains that link. Do click on that. Do check out the procedure. Pretty sure that is a great deal. So thanks for watching. Do watch till the end. Hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. और हम यहाँ पर है discussing, yes, the reigning champions of the world. भाई वो कर्स जो है 2006 से आ रहा है. I don't know how it's going to be for France. Pretty sure that is in the minds of them. वो आप deny नहीं कर सकते. And that is the real thing. And obviously for France, I had to get on someone who has watched both the triumphs of France. That is obviously 1998 and 2018. Or who better than Sadiq Bhai Fateh? This time we are discussing in this video what has happened with France over the years, and that's what we discuss. 1998 to 2018 comes to mind, but a lot more because we have kind of seen the ups and the lows both of France. Let's put it that way. I know they are one of the 6 nations who have won the World Cup more than once, so kudos to them for that. Lekin I don't know, let's talk positive first. Sadiq Bhai, some particular memory which comes to mind that, come on, as in there are a lot of memories of France. Lekin kaun sa memory which kind of stands out to you as in obviously a Brazil fan, lekin watching France a lot of times.
देखो फ्रांस के लिए तो प्लेजेंट मेमोरीज होती हैं, लेकिन हमारे लिए कभी भी प्लेजेंट नहीं होती whenever we face, मतलब फॉर एज अ ब्राजील फैन. तो ऑब्वियसली वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल के बारे में तो हर कोई जानता है, लेकिन द गेम दैट स्टिक्स इन माय मेमोरी वाज Zidane's मास्टर क्लास 2006. The game ended 1-0, but that man was a man possessed. I mean, in that game, Zidane just bossed a midfield that was containing, you could say, a prime Kaká, a prime Ronaldinho. I mean, Gilberto Silva at the back. So he was just sublime in that game, and also Thierry Henry when he scored that goal. So that game just sticks like as a very pleasant memory for a French fan, but a very sore one yet again against France for me.
Yeah. And again, for people who don't know, this was basically the quarterfinals that we're talking about. Or I know they got narrow victories in both quarterfinals and semi-finals. But pretty sure same World Cup में they did, I thought वो एक moment था ना जहाँ पर लग रहा था भाई, is it going to be France again? Or that was, in my opinion, Spain versus France. It was round of 16 or round of 16 में, I think if I'm not wrong, Spain got a penalty early on and they scored, and then France came back from that. Or I still remember like it was yesterday. भाई मतलब for me, Ribéry impact जो था ना उस particular World Cup में, especially in this particular game, I would say that Ribéry was wow. He got the first goal, then we all remember Vieira got, I think it was pretty late, header था जहाँ तक मुझे याद है, and of a corner, and then we had obviously Zidane scoring. लेकिन that particular game, somewhere down the line एक belief होती ना that come on, Zidane का last World Cup, I think if not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong guys, लेकिन Zidane had also made a comeback before the World Cup, and it was obviously supposed to be the last World Cup. And that was a moment for me, like even as a neutral at that point in time, कि भाई again लग रहा है कि France का है, especially like a lot of other teams were not really, although players बहुत थे, लेकिन they were not peaking, or Ribéry, Zidane are getting that kind of connection. So I thought somewhere down the line वो लग रहा था. But Fateh, any particular moment for you that you would definitely like to remember जो आपने देखा है?
Yeah, from the 2006 World Cup, when you mentioned that Spain game, if you look at that France team, the way they negotiated the group stages, I mean, against the Koreans, they were flat. Against the Swiss, I think they were flat. And that first half against Spain, they were really poor. I mean, Spain were leading and France had no fight. And I don't know what happened at halftime. And that's the thing. They say that, Zidane just sort of took the reins. He was their coach. and the French team that came out in that second half against Spain, I did not expect it. I thought this game is over. I've seen 3 lackluster French performances in the group stages. And from there onwards, I still didn't believe that they would put that sort of show against Brazil, because everybody was talking about Kaká, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and then suddenly France just shut them up, and I was stunned, and they did the same to Portugal, a very good Portugal team. And if you remember the final, they took the lead, and I thought, wow, here we go again.
And how, Fateh, please tell the audience that Panenka.
Yes, to do that in a final, that pressure, and against Buffon, Buffon at that stage, the world's best goalkeeper, and for him to do it, and it seemed to me that the ball hasn't gone in. So, I was still like, has it gone in? Has it not gone in? And I was, at that stage, I was so scared. I was fearing for my life. I was like, here we go again, Euro 2000 and World Cup 2006. But yeah, it ended.
Yeah. Again, I didn't end well, obviously, because of the headbutt. And again, आज तक मुझे सच्चाई नहीं मिली नहीं क्या बोला था Materazzi ने Zidane को. I know that a lot of stories have come, but again, the reality is that again we know that you can argue. I know recently we spoke about Ronaldo, but let's be honest, Zidane just a slight extent, थोड़ा सा tarnish किया था in that particular moment, because whatever it was, I don't think at that moment it was the right thing to do. Obviously, because that mentally affected the French team clearly, and Italian team was really in that kind of frame of mind. So they went on and won. But coming back to France, Sadiq Bhai, I know that these are probably not great memories. I'll probably put this to Fateh, but 1998 Fateh, मतलब I know, as in final leave apart. Final, chalo bhai, Sadiq bhai ko dena padega. I know Brazil fan, I'm probably just pulling his leg. But reality is that as much as Zidane was, I think, really burst onto the scene at that time, you remember, Sadiq bhai, World Cup ke raat ke pehle, the final ke raat ke pehle, there were already a lot of rumors that basically Ronaldo is not going to start. Obviously, I think there was an issue. Compulsive fit is what
No. I think what happened for him was it was a convulsive fit, यानी कि मिर्गी जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना आम ज़बान में. So he had a fit, he had a seizure. So that was, there are different rumors, and some rumors are saying that he
did get a seizure, and
there's a whole lot of stuff that is there. But he had a seizure. That's what they said. And being from the medical profession myself, if someone has a seizure, and when you give them those meds that you're supposed to give, they make you fairly drowsy, and that drowsiness and that lacklusterness must continue for around 24 hours.
But didn't Ronaldo miss Zidane on one of the corners? I don't know, I might be wrong here, but I believe that he probably missed his man. That was the irony of it, right? As in here, Zidane was kind of bursting up. I know Ronaldo was already there.
Speaking of France and Zidane, there is another bit of trivia for the people watching us. That Zidane has scored 5 goals in his World Cup career, and all 5 have come in the knockout stages. He has never scored in the group stages.
Wow.
And out of that, 3 of them have been in finals. He scored the Panenka in 2006, and this is exactly the opposite of Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. They have never scored in the knockout stages of a World Cup.
I said that in the Portugal video जो मैंने किया था, और हमने अर्जेंटीना के बारे में बात की था. This might be the moment for them this year. Who knows, right? But I think quickly यहाँ पर एक और चीज मैं बोलना चाहूंगा is that final before I go to Fateh. देखिए, one thing must be said that जब टीम शीट निकली थी ना फाइनल के पहले, तो उसमें रोनाल्डो नहीं था पहले, ठीक है. And then after 20 minutes, team sheet was there and he was there. So somewhere down the line, I think they were in 2 minds also. But leave apart that, I think it motivated France, क्योंकि वो क्या सोचे कि भाई ये लोग gamesmanship कर रहे हैं, और it kind of motivated them even more. I know it was at home already for them, and I think they were already enough motivated.
If you see the final team sheet, Leonardo starts on the right side, which was not his natural position, because Rivaldo was supposed to start and strike alongside Bebeto, and Denilson was supposed to go on to the right, and Leonardo would be on the left. But then they had to switch that and get in Ronaldo in the final. I don't know what was going on.
Correct.
It was a mess. But you have to remember, even when we talk about Zidane actually picked up a red card for a very bad foul in the group stages in that World Cup, and he missed I think the game against Paraguay as well, and he only came back for the quarterfinals. So Zidane's the temper, like what came out in 2006, we've already seen that in 1998.
But talk about red cards, bro. As in, I know 2006 बात की तो वो अलग बात है, but 1998 में, I think Laurent Blanc, it was a very funny story. Now, he scored, for people who don't know, the first golden goal ever scored in a World Cup, right? As in, that was scored by Laurent Blanc, and that was an extra time against Paraguay. It was after a 0-0. मुझे याद नहीं वो 0-0 match. Good, I don't remember. लेकिन after that, I think, if I'm not wrong, he took a header assist and then, himself scored that goal. And then, ironically, he was sent off. I think it was against Croatia in the semi-final. And that was against Slaven Bilic. Abhi tak people say that was not a red card. Again, VR tha nahi us time, but I believe that was probably not a red card. And my man, again, I'm saying my man because Chelsea fans might relate to this. That is basically Frank Leboeuf. By all of a sudden, he was on the pitch. Or after 10 minutes being on the pitch, he realized, oh my God, I'm going to play the final. And he's given a lot of interviews about it. And he actually played the final, and how he played, we all know that Frank Leboeuf ka, kind of career ban gaya tha. But even in that game, right, I remember Davar Sukar's ka, kind of World Cup tha. He scored that goal, right? And then you had, correct. And then you had Lilian Thuram, out of all the people, scoring 2 goals. What is that about?
Yeah. His only 2 goals. His only 2 goals in his career. He has played like 150 odd matches. He's the most capped player for France ever, and he has scored only 2 goals, and they both came in the semi-final of the World Cup.
And you know what? And it's very interesting because France अपना पहला final खेलने जा रही थी after 2 times when they did not even qualify for the World Cup. 1990, 1994 they did not even qualify for the World Cup finals tournament. So for them it was a huge deal, and of course having hosted in France not for a very long time, बहुत दिनों बाद हो रहा था, so it was a big deal for France in general. But the second time they won it, Sadiq Bhai, pretty sure 2018 kind of make them into the cream of nations. And let's be real, as in, I don't know any particular game which comes to mind for me. Round of 16, people remember Argentina, France, कुछ याद आ रहा है? भाई क्या गेम था, बवाल गेम था.
That was the game of the tournament probably.
बिल्कुल.
For most.
And
that one and the Belgium-Japan game जो था वो, I mean those two really stood out.
Correct. Absolutely. But I think ये वाला game special. I'm going to give a huge shout out. I'm saying that one of the World Cup finals tournament or knockout stages goals ever, like जो Pavard ने, what a strike that was, bro. And then good technique, I think, coming from Benjamin Pavard of all the people. When I think if I'm not wrong, it was 2-1, and then it became 2-all, right? And then Mbappe scored a brace, and and that was what maybe Mbappe coming to the fore as well, you would say, right?
But I was really intrigued by the way the semi-final against Belgium ended up, because that was a derby in a way, and Belgium was so good. They were free-flowing, scoring goals. Eden Hazard, I think he was, he was at that stage at Chelsea, and he was probably one of the best players in the world back then, if you remember. And that game, the way the French sort of shut up shop, I mean, it was probably the best defensive display that, from that World Cup that I can sort of think of. And I really didn't expect that. I really expected the likes of De Bruyne and I think Lukaku and Hazard, and because Belgium had so much talent going into that game. I thought the Belgians were going to be the favourites for that game, and the way the French just cut them off. For me, I think that was where I sort of really. I mean, I've always been a Didier Deschamps fan. Right from his days, as a player.
Yeah, of course, we forgot to mention he was the first French captain to actually lift the World Cup. So,
yeah, exactly.
And of course, the current coach. So,
and for him to sort of put that sort of masterclass up, I think at that stage I knew that okay, wow, France is just a level above everybody else.
He's one of only 3 people to have won a World Cup as a player and a manager. Mario Zagallo for Brazil, Franz Beckenbauer for Germany, and then Deschamps. And Deschamps and Beckenbauer share the distinction of being the only people who have lifted the cup as captains and as managers.
Oh, wow.
Zagallo was not the captain of Brazil, but Beckenbauer in 74 was the captain of that German team. And then in 1990, he was the manager, and Deschamps 98 mein captain, and in 2018, he was the
manager. Exactly, perfect. As in, again, talking about 2018, the final itself, the way I know एक goal आई थी Croatia का, मतलब all of us were hoping that come on, let's have one of the greatest finals ever, and you might be a comeback, but France ka by then that quality was showing, and again,
Mario Mandzukic scored an own goal and then scored a goal himself.
Yeah.
That's the only time. That's the only instance in a World Cup final when you have an own goal being scored.
Correct.
That's the only own goal in a World Cup final, and the only player.
Which would have imagined, Sadiq Bhai. That's a funny.
And the only player who has scored for and against.
That Croatia-France rivalry, I don't know whether they are supposed to play in this World Cup or can they meet at any stage, because 1998 we talked about the semi-finals and 2018 the finals. And the Croatians, being such a small nation, they gave France a run for their money in both the games. Like, respect, okay, especially in 1998, okay, 2018, I understand. But if that penalty hadn't gone,
I think if Croatia tops their group,
yeah,
and same for this one, France.
Yeah. They are on the same side of the draw, so they can meet.
They can meet in the quarterfinals.
So I'll
probably.
Yeah.
Let's see. And by the way, Nations League में भी हुआ था recently, we all remember. But again, we have spoken about a lot of memories. आप लोगों को अगर पता याद आ रहा है कोई भी memory, please, let me know. Yes, we're talking about magic moments here. That is the series about for people who don't know by now, right? But talk about magic moments, it cannot happen without magic players. So हमने एक controversially pick किया एक 22-man squad जो हम करते हैं इस series में हमेशा. And this is a squad which will include all the players of France who played well in World Cups जो हमने देखा है अपने आंखों से, ठीक है? So everyone, do let me know your comments as well. And this is a team that we have chosen together. I don't know if any by panel आप लोग कोई भी shout out देना चाहो या maybe we might have missed out a few names, pretty sure, right? Sadiq Bhai, anyone that comes to mind that we missed out?
Why, definitely midfield mein you can go for Christian Karembeu.
Yeah.
Christian Karembeu from Real Madrid. In fact, that season, he won the Champions League with Real Madrid and then he won the World Cup with France. And he was the one who was keeping Patrick Vieira on the bench for most of that tournament.
Correct.
And I think agar striker mein dekhen, and if you are just talking about World Cups, just talking about World Cup performances, I think Mbappe would probably start over Henry. If only talking about World Cup performance.
In terms of minutes to goals and even in terms of impact, you can see that. But like by Henry was huge as well, right? As in 98 and 2006.
I don't know if somebody would get my joke, but where is Stephen Guibarc? This legendary French striker from the World Cup 1998 who scored no goals at the 98 World Cup, took a transfer to the EPL and scored no goals, I think, in the EPL and then just disappeared. But he was their main striker in 1998. And
actually, yeah, you're right. Talking about no goals, I think Giroud is totally different. He had a very, very pivotal role in 2018, right?
I think he's been converted into Olivier Giroud.
Who's more effective? Put it that way. I don't know. Both are effective. Let's be honest. But Joe Kayev, again, for people who play by FIFA 98, everyone knows Joe Kayev. Yeah, Joe Kayev, the way the commentator says, different level. Or by what a finisher, in my opinion. Again, Zidane, Griezmann. Zidane for me is one of the goods. Generally, top 5 in the world, I would say. That level is what I rate him. Or left back, Sadiq Bhai, I don't know. Lizarazu, Abidal, hum gaye hai.
Hands down.
Lucas
Hernandez. Hands down, Lizarazu. Hands down, Lizarazu. No one. I mean, in French football, no one, I think, other than probably for a while, अगर आप historical बात करो तो लोग कोई Jean Tigana की बात करेंगे, but that was 80s before I was even born. But I think no one touches Vicente Lizarazu. He has won. I mean, when we talk about someone winning everything in his career, we are talking a lot about it. कि अगर Messi जीत जाए, Ronaldo जीत जाए, they will. Lizarazu is one who has actually completed football. He won the Bundesliga, he won the Champions League, he won the Pokal, he won the World Cup, he won the Euros. So Lizarazu has done everything in his career.
Absolutely. Fateh, लेकिन controversially हम दो नाम छोड़ लिए उसमें से. Very difficult because again most of the World Cup winning sides have great midfielders or even wide men. Frank Ribéry, in my opinion, had a great impact 2006. Matuidi, although did not start every game, I believe उसका भी काफी impact था और in terms of defensive awareness he was huge as well. His crosses from the left hand side were great in 2018. So I think a couple of names that I can remember. I know people who said भाई आपका 2014 में भी they reached quarters. Why didn't you pick Koscielny or Debuchy? But come on, in terms of quality, we all know.
One name that I don't think in 2006 he was there, Robert Pires. He was there, I think, even 1998, but again not a starter. I don't think he was.
Yeah, substitute. Timing गलत हो गया यार. Pires is a player, yes, but as a World Cup,
Actually, even team का play style थोड़ा different था. Because the French teams, they never involved really wide players या wide wingers as such.
इसलिए हम वही formation रखे हैं ना, आप देखिए.
और Pires तो भाई in my favorite PL11 or in my favorite team, I always put Robert Pires there because he was one of my favorite players.
Yeah, very good on the eye. Extremely good. मतलब again, मतलब Chelsea fans would say, "Bhai, why not even Malouda?" But come on, let's be honest. Bhai, Petty and Pogba in this formation, any day rule. Not Perez and Malouda, as much as both were decent. Perez especially was great, as Sadiq bhai ने बोला है. But again, right wing अगर wing खिलाते तो Valbu है ना. I don't know, shout out. I know Benzema, by the way, obviously he didn't play in recent World Cup इसलिए नहीं है. But वो interesting होता. He had some moments as well, if I'm not wrong, 2014 में. But yeah, I think this is our team. Again, आप लोग बोलिए, आप लोग बोल सकते हो मे बी पैट्रिस एवरा एंड एवरीवन, लाइक देयर आर लॉट ऑफ नेम्स दैट हम सोच सकते हैं, लेकिन हम गए बेस्ड ऑन द परफॉर्मेंसेस एट द वर्ल्ड कप एंड द इंपैक्ट रहा है फॉर फ्रांस रीचिंग द फाइनल स्टेजेस ऑफ टूर्नामेंट्स, जो हुआ है मेनली 1998, 2006, 2014 एंड ऑफ कोर्स 2018. बट हाँ, आज के लिए इतना ही है. अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू बी कवरिंग अ लॉट मोर इन द कमिंग डेज. आपको पता ही है चैनल में कहाँ जाना है, you hit that bell notification icon and of course hit that like button. Again, please follow the panel, उनका लिंक भी रहेगा in description. अभी के लिए इतना ही है. Any last words, Sadiq bhai Fateh? Where are France heading?
I think probably the quarterfinals, exiting to Croatia.
Okay, Sadiq bhai.
Curse OP.
Oh my God. So Sadiq bhai answered finally, man. He believes in the curse. Chalo, on that note, let's not have a curse and let's get going for now. But absolutely brilliant to have you guys.